She walked into the bank trembling with hope, a life-changing check clutched in her shaking hands. Young, black, and fighting for her dreams, she offered it with a fragile smile, but the manager's face twisted in disgust. He snatched it like filth, ripped it to shreds with savage fury, and flung the confetti of her future at her feet. "Worthless trash," he spat, voice laced with venom. Tears stung her eyes as laughter echoed, her heart shattering in the silence. He had no idea her mother lurked in the shadows, a billionaire titan ready to crush him. What happened next? Pure, devastating revenge. Her name was Jada Washington, just 22, with fire in her soul and dreams bigger than the world around her. Raised in a modest Chicago apartment by her single mom, she'd clawed her way through community college on scholarships and late-night shifts at a diner. Every tip, every saved dollar fueled her vision, opening a small beauty salon to empower girls who looked like her, black girls told they'd never shine. That crisp autumn morning, Jada woke before dawn, heart pounding. Months of hustle had led here, a $25,000 small business loan check finally approved. She clutched it like a lifeline, whispering prayers as she dressed in her best blouse. This was her ticket out of scraping by, her proof she belonged. She chose First National Bank downtown, sleek marble floors, suits everywhere, a place that screamed success. Jada smoothed her braids, chin high, ignoring the knot in her stomach. She'd earned this, but as she stepped through those glass doors, something shifted. Eyes lingered too long. Whispers trailed her steps. The air felt thick, judgmental. At the counter, the manager loomed, a middle-aged white man named Richard Hargrove, tie crisp, smile practiced but cold. Jada handed over the check, pulse racing with excitement. His fingers brushed the paper, and his expression darkened. What happened next would rip her world apart, and unleash a storm he never saw coming. Richard Hargrove's eyes locked onto the check like a predator spotting weakness. He held it up to the light, squinting as if it were counterfeit trash. Jada's stomach twisted. Why the scrutiny? Her application was flawless, her credit solid, but his lips curled into a sneer, scanning her from braids to sneakers. "This yours?" he asked, voice dripping suspicion, loud enough for the lobby to hear. Jada nodded, forcing a steady breath. "Yes, sir. Small business loan. Everything's in order." Her words hung fragile in the sterile air. Around her, tellers paused, customers craned necks. An older white woman clutched her purse tighter. A suited man smirked into his phone. Hargrove flipped the check over, then back, his face hardening. "Small business, you?" He chuckled, low and cutting, like she was a punchline. "Sweetheart, we don't hand out play money to folks like you." The words landed like slaps. Folks like you. Jada's cheeks burned, heart slamming against her ribs. She wasn't asking for charity. She'd earned every cent. "Please, just process it," she whispered, voice cracking despite her resolve. Humiliation clawed up her throat. Hargrove's eyes gleamed with power. He gripped the check tighter, knuckles whitening. "I don't think so. This screams fraud." Without warning, he tore into it once, twice, savage rips echoing like gunshots. Paper fluttered down like dying dreams. Confetti of her future scattering across the marble floor. Gasps rippled through the lobby. Jada's world tilted. "No, stop." She lunged for the shreds, hands trembling, tears blurring the wreckage. But Hargrove wasn't done. He shredded faster, fury in his frenzy, pieces raining over her outstretched arms. "Get this garbage out of my bank," he barked, sweeping the remains toward her with his shoe. Laughter erupted, a white couple snickering, a teller averting eyes. Jada dropped to her knees, scooping fragments, sobs choking her. Her blouse soaked with tears, braids falling loose. She was trash now, exposed, broken in a sea of indifferent stares. Security hovered, hands on belts, ready to drag her out. "Ma'am, you need to leave," one muttered, disgust thick. Jada staggered up, clutching soggy scraps to her chest like a shield. Every eye drilled into her, pity from none, judgment from all. This wasn't just a check. It was her proof she could rise, and they'd crushed it because of her skin. She stumbled toward the exit, legs jelly, the lobby's chill seeping into her bones. Whispers chased her. Typical. Should have known. Outside, autumn wind whipped her face, raw and stinging. Jada collapsed against the wall, shredding the last piece in her fist until her palm bled. Rage boiled beneath the hurt. How dare they? Years of grinding, dismissed in seconds. But as she fumbled for her phone, a sleek black SUV pulled up curbside. The tinted window rolled down, revealing a face she knew too well. Her mother, Evelyn Washington, poised and unreadable. Jada froze. Mom wasn't supposed to be here, not yet. Evelyn's gaze flicked to the bank doors, then back, steel in her eyes. "Get in," she said simply. Jada slid inside, the leather seats swallowing her brokenness. The SUV peeled away, but Evelyn's hand gripped hers, warm, unyielding. "They have no idea," Mom murmured, voice like thunder wrapped in silk. Jada wiped her face, confusion mixing with fury. What did Mom mean? As the city blurred past, Evelyn pulled out her phone, dialing with deliberate calm. The call connected, and her tone shifted, commanding, lethal. Little did Hargrove know, Evelyn Washington wasn't just any mother. She was the CEO of Washington Enterprises, a billion-dollar empire built from nothing. Her face on Forbes, her name whispered in boardrooms. And she'd seen every second from her hidden vantage point across the street. The trap was set. Revenge wasn't coming. It was already here. But as the SUV turned toward downtown, Jada's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You're done. Bank files show fraud. Police on way." Her blood ran cold. Hargrove wasn't finished. He was escalating. waiting. What would he do next? The sleek SUV screeched into the bank's private parking garage. Evelyn's jaw set like forged steel. Jada's phone buzzed relentlessly. Threats from Hargrove's number, police sirens wailing closer. "They're framing me," she gasped, panic clawing her throat. Evelyn killed the engine, her billionaire aura crackling. "Watch," she whispered, eyes locked on the glass doors. Inside, Hargrove strutted like a conqueror, barking orders. "Call the cops. That girl's a scammer. Black girl with fake docs. We're pressing charges." Tellers nodded eagerly, his venom infectious. He leaned back, smug, already picturing her in cuffs. Sirens grew deafening. Backup had arrived. But then the lobby doors exploded open. Evelyn Washington stormed in like a hurricane, $5,000 heels clicking death sentences on marble. The air sucked out. Gasps, frozen stares. Hargrove blinked, confused. "Can I help you?" he sneered, dismissing her power suit, her flawless ebony skin. Evelyn's voice sliced the silence. Arctic, absolute. "Richard Hargrove, you just destroyed my daughter's future." She tossed a tablet onto his desk. Live feed footage, crystal clear. Him shredding the check, spewing slurs, sweeping trash at Jada's feet. His face drained to ash. You're, he stammered, recognition hitting like a freight train. Evelyn Washington. Forbes cover. The CEO who'd bought half the city's skyline. Mother of the girl he'd humiliated. Arrest her. Hargrove shrieked at arriving cops, voice cracking. But Evelyn raised one hand. Her phone lit up. Mayor's office, FBI contacts, a dozen power players on speed dial. "This bank's FDIC insured," she said softly, lethally. "One call and you're radioactive." Cops hesitated, badges gleaming under fluorescent hate. Hargrove lunged for his desk phone, but Evelyn's security, 6 ex-Marines in black, materialized, pinning him face down. His tie choked him, screams muffled into carpet. The lobby erupted, customers fleeing, tellers weeping, his empire crumbling in seconds. Jada burst in behind, shreds of her check clutched like evidence. Their eyes met, Hargrove's bulging with terror, hers blazing triumph. He'd shredded her dreams, but Evelyn shredded him. As cops cuffed him, dragging his thrashing form out, Evelyn leaned close, whispering so only he heard, "Folks like you, we own you now." The bank fell silent, a graveyard of privilege. Hargrove's world ended, not with a bang, but with the click of handcuffs. Within hours, Richard Hargrove's empire of hate crumbled to dust. Evelyn's calls rippled through the system like shockwaves. First National Bank's board fired him on the spot. His pension vaporized. Federal regulators swooped in, freezing accounts amid fraud probes that traced back to his discretionary denials of black applicants. Headlines screamed, "Racist bank manager exposed. SHREDS black woman's check. Meets billionaire mom." Viral footage hit 50 million views overnight, his snarling face now the poster child for unchecked prejudice. Jada stood tall in the aftermath, her salon rising from the ashes twice as grand. Evelyn didn't just replace the $25,000. She poured $2 million into Jada's vision, turning it into Empower Her Studios, a chain mentoring young black entrepreneurs. But the real victory scarred deeper. Jada's fire hardened into steel. No more shrinking in boardrooms. She keynoted at conferences, her story a weapon against the shadows. Evelyn? She acquired the bank outright, rebranding it Washington Trust, first black-led institution in decades. Hargrove rotted in a cell, suing for defamation and losing every round. His family disowned him. Old colleagues spat his name. Justice wasn't blind, it had Evelyn's eyes. Yet this triumph cut both ways. Jada lay awake nights replaying the lobby's laughter, the knees she'd dropped in defeat. That check wasn't just paper. It was every no black dreamers swallow, every door slammed on potential. Hargrove was one man, but his venom echoed centuries. Redlining, loan denials, the 2023 CFPB report showing black applicants rejected at double the rate of whites with identical credit. Inspired by true events like the Wells Fargo scandals and countless unnamed shreddings, Jada's story laid bare the system devouring black futures daily. Power isn't just money. It's who wields it when the mask slips. Evelyn flipped the script, but how many Jadas shatter unseen, their checks trashed before moms can rise? Next time you see someone dismissed, someone profiled, someone fighting for their peace, don't scroll past. Share this story. Demand accountability. Because one voice shredded becomes a roar that topples banks. Who's ready to rise?